Hello everyone, I'm Turbomatrix, but you just call me Matrix, and welcome back to another God of War Ragnarok build video. And in today's video, I will be showing you my best God of War Ragnarok build. So, anyways, let's get straight into the video. Now, starting off with the Leviathan Axe, we have the Grip of the Nine Realms. Now, this build focuses around building up permafrost and immolation and all that stuff, and realm shifts, because it's all because of these hinds and grips and stuff. Starting with the Grip of the Nine Realms, activating Glacial Permafrost, the L1 plus triangle, while permafrost is full, triggers a realm shift. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we have Hell's Touch, because it's a nice, quick runic attack. And also, just a little heads up, I will be using this build in my own Give Me God of War run from start to finish. That I'm doing in my off time. I'm already starting to collect runic attacks and stuff for that build. This will be the build I use for that, so obviously has to be good if I'm using it for my own Give Me God of War run. Anyways, Hell's Touch is the runic attack I'm using, and here is some gameplay of that. Alright, now for the heavy runic attack, also link for this and this will be available in the description, and a link for this runic attack will also be available in the description. Anyways, Evaldi's Anvil is our heavy runic attack, and this is just a great one because it has a low cooldown, and it also is just good for clearing enemies. A lot of this is for stunning enemies and just letting us use as many runic attacks as possible so we get that damage out fast and just regain our footing too. And here's some gameplay of that. Alright, now let's move on to the Blades of Chaos. I'm still recording, right? Yep. Alright, Blades of Chaos. A link for this pommel will be available in the description, and it's basically the same thing as the grip. Activating Furious Immolation, L1 plus triangle, triggers a realm shift. Okay. Now for the light runic attack, we have the Flames of Anguish, and this is just good for disrupting enemies and causing a lot of burn damage too. So anyways, here is some gameplay of this. Alright, now for our head. Oh, also, this unlocks in the story, so there will not be a link for this in the description because it unlocks in the story. Now, Nemean Crush. This is really good for damage and burn too. So really, I would just use this in a lot of different builds as well, but here is some gameplay of this.
Left side!
Alright. Also, you unlock, oh no, there's a link for this in the description. Now, we have the the spear stuff. Hind of the Nine Realms. Again, a Nine Realms attachment. Activating Violent Maelstrom, L1 plus triangle, triggers a realm shift. Alright, and you'll see where this realm shift comes in handy later. Here we have Huldra Charge as our light runic attack, and this you unlock in the story, so there will not be a link for this in the description, and here's some gameplay of that. Alright, now here we have Vinslavers, whatever, Windstorm. I butchered that. And this you also unlock in the story, and here is some gameplay of that. This is just my favorite heavy runic attack for the spear, so I use it in a lot of my builds. So anyways, what's next? Shield. Alright, here we have the Dauntless Shield with the Rond of the Nine Realms, which low luck chance to trigger a realm shift, once again, temporarily slowing down striking enemies when parrying. And obviously Dauntless Shield is made for parrying and stuff, So really, if you're having a run that is precisely just about parrying, have the parry shield just to get used to it, and also so you can get more stun out when you get those perfect parries and stuff like that. So yeah, there's the shield and stuff, which you unlock the Dauntless Shield in the story, and there's a link for the Rond of the Nine Realms in the description. Now for my Spartan Rage, I use Wrath. Probably the best Spartan Rage out there, depending on what type of build you got, but in my opinion, Wrath is, I use that in all my builds. So yeah, there it is. Now for the Relic, there's two options. You can either use the Hilt of Hafud. This is what I would use when you start out your build, but then after that, because again, this triggers a realm shift, but then after that, once you get the Hilt of Skofnug, use it. It's the best one. Deals a lot of damage. It's just really great. Having the 12 swords just help with crowd control and stuff like that against enemies. So anyways, here is some gameplay of that. Alright, let's move on now to the armor. Now here we have the Berserker. Oh shoot. There will be a link in the description on how to get the Hilt of Skofnug if you don't know how. Now for chest armor, we have the Berserker Curtis, which there's a link for this in the description. There's a link for all the armor in the description, which using a relic massively increases the damage of Kratos' melee attacks, but also the damage received for a duration. So whenever you use a relic, it increases your melee attack damage, which is really helpful, but also you do not want to get hit during this, because especially on God of War mode, it will probably one-shot you. It will one-shot you, or depending on how much health you have. Anyways, Berserker Gauntlets. Low luck chance for successful hits to cause a soul explosion, dealing damage and restoring some cooldown of the relic, which this helps with using a relic more. They increase their melee damage. So yeah, anyways, Berserker Waistguard. Taking damage, blocking, and parrying all have a moderate luck chance to cause a soul explosion, dealing damage and restoring some cooldown of the relic. Again, helping with the relic stuff here. Now, let's move on to the Amulet of Yggdrasil. Starting off, we have Asgard, the entire Asgard set. So Asgard's Virtue, Asgard's Security, and Asgard Might. To get the increases the damage of all Kratos' weapon triangle attacks and ability based on his cooldown. Now, obviously, you can use this when holding down, like charging up. Here, let me just show you. Like charging up this. I forgot what this is called. Charging up this. And then also just this, exploding these. It increases the damage of all those based on his cooldown, which we have pretty good cooldown. Now let's move down the Muspelheim's protection before we go over the middle stuff. Again, increased Kratos' melee damage when the Permafrost, Immolation, or Maelstone skill gauges are fully charged based on his runic, and since we are going to be wanting to get all three of those up so we can trigger our realm shifts, this is really helpful. Now, first off, we have Emblem of the Nine Realms, which increases melee damage during realm shifts. So while we're realm shifting, we will do increased melee damage too, and enemies won't be able to hit us because they'll be slowed down. Then we have Kinetic Resilience, which combo finishers provide extra charge of the Permafrost, Immolation, and Maelstone skill gauges. That's not really why I chose this one, because a lot of times you won't be finishing combos that much. Sometimes you will, other times you'll be like, oh, a few axe hits, and then oh, let's switch to the blades, and oh, let's switch to this, and stuff like that. You'll be switching weapons a lot, or at least that's how I play. Sometimes I do end up finishing combos and stuff, but this is just here in just case. But the reason why I chose this one, it's because the charge lost when getting hit is greatly reduced, and this is just all around. So it doesn't have to be like when it's full or anything. Like, it is greatly reduced whenever you get hit, which is really good. So yeah, that's just why this is here. And then the Boon of Wrath. Obviously, I've said this in my last build video. You want to have whatever rage you choose. You want to have the enchantment that increases it, because there's a Wrath one, there's a Valor one, and there's the other one, whatever the other rage is called, enchantment that helps boost the effect of that. So you always want to have that in there. Since we chose Wrath, Boon of Wrath is what I chose to put in there. Now let's move on to Freya. Her sword, there's a link for this in the description. I use Bifrost because it's the best one, and just putting Bifrost on enemies is really helpful, because when you hit them, all that health that's purple disappears. Now for her runic summon, I use the Queen's Roar because it just does good amount of damage. That the ability to apply either Sonic or Hex to enemies when she slams down is really helpful, and it just does such a big area of effect. Speaking of that area of effect, here is actually some gameplay of that, of the Queen's Roar.
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
Alright, now let's move on to, to Freya's armor. Obviously, armor is just cosmetic, but just in case you guys want to know, I use, for this build, the Tattered Witch Frock, because I think it matches more. I'm using this, I'm using this Freya armor in my Gimme God of War run, because I just like the classic Freya look, so yeah, there you go. Now, for accessories, Sonic Aftershock. For this build, you will be using Sonic arrows, because just to get stun up and stuff like that, because in Gimme God of War, I find stun is more helpful than the Hex and stuff like that, just because if you can get that enemies into the R3 stun lock and stuff like that, then it's just helpful for clearing out enemies, because every enemy does a bunch of damage in that mode. Now, for the second one, Rune Engraved Release, the first arrow from a full quiver deals significantly increased damage. This is just good all around. Using a Healthstone or Rage Stone refunds 3 runic arrows and greatly reduces runic summon cooldown. This is just great all around too. There's a link for this in the description, and you can buy this in this one, the Rune Refinement, in the shop after the Iron mission, and then the Sonic Aftershock, you can actually get this during the first Atreus solo mission. If you miss it though, you'll be able to craft it in the shop afterwards. Now, what I do, which I don't see any other God of War build makers do, is I actually show you guys my skill mods. So here is all my Leviathan Axe skill mods. As you can see, the damage, because this build was really made for my Gimme God of War run, but overall it's just the best build out there. Getting all that damage and output and stuff like that is really helpful. So increasing damage is really helpful. And then everyone that doesn't have the damage option, I chose momentum so we can increase the permafrost thing, but you'll be getting permafrost fast enough anyways. Now here's the Blades of Chaos one, same deal over here. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Draupnir Spear. And then Freya doesn't have any skill mods. So, there you go. Again, links for anything that's not available in the main story and stuff are in the description. There is not direct links to help you find the enchantments, because there is no videos out there that help you find those enchantments except for like a few of them. But really, what you have to do is like search up a website or something like IGN or something like that. I'm pretty sure they have one, and just follow them. Sometimes they don't put the correct location, which I don't understand how you could accidentally put the incorrect location, but that just happens. So really, you'll have to like 100% the game like I did in order to make sure that you have everything. As you can see, 100%. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this build video. This is my second Ragnarok build video. There's one more definitely coming after this one. Then after that, I'm going to be taking a break from builds unless like my mind gets exploded and I think of a new build. That next build video will be coming out next week, I think. So yeah, anyways, look out for that one. And be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that, or if you like any of the other content on my channel. And also, if you just want to explore content that I may have, just click my little profile icon down there and look around my channel. I do a lot more stuff other than God of War. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, because I have, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!